We have 3 rugs, right? 6 colors of thread are available. FOPTWY. FOPTWY. Now, what do we know? We know that exactly 5 of which will be used to weave the rugs. All right, so there's 3 rugs. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to use 5 of these colors, so that means at least one of them is going to go out. Right? Yes?
Where does it say 3?
The beginning. Oh, notice the very first word. Yeah, okay.
I knew something. Okay.
It's okay. You're like, I don't have time. I'm just going to skip ahead into the middle here. Each color will be used. I don't know what they're talking about, but I got to do this. Okay. Each color will be used only one of the rugs. That's kind of nice. That means every color goes only once, right? Okay. The rugs are either solid, a single color, or multicolored. Oh wait, this does actually tell us something. What does it tell us about the rugs in terms of grouping? Because this is kind of a grouping game. What do you got to know in a grouping game? There's a minimum. The minimum is 1, right? Okay. So we have at least 1 in each group, and some are multicolored. Alrighty. Then it says in any rug in which white is used, 2 other colors are also used. So if you have W, then you're going to have 2 others, right? Sound good? Then it says, if O, then P. If O, then P. Then it says, FT. FT does not go together. PT does not go together. And PY does not go together. All right. Do we have all the variables? Looks like we do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. Now, there's some inferences you can make here. Did anyone do worlds? All right, so first thought I would have deals, any guess what rule we should focus on here for a second? W is a nice rule, right? It says, look, if W is in, it's going to have 2 things below it, and then all the numbers are set, because you'd have like W, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, right? Now, the thing about this game is that they never talked about the rugs in terms of like rug 1 or rug 2 or rug 3. So I'm just going to go ahead and ignore that numbering and make a world in which W is in. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, right? And I'm just going to assign it to rug 1. It doesn't really matter. And now the other world is what? What's the alternative? It's out, right? That's, if it's in, it's got to be like this. If it's out, oh shoot, I didn't do this very small. Now, 1, 2, 3, 1. In the other option, we have 1, 2, 3, 1. W is out, and we don't necessarily know the composition of those that are in, right? So if W is out, then we don't know what's going on. If W is in, then it's got to be like this. Now, what's the other rule that's pretty significant here? OP, right? Why is that so significant?
Because they have to be with W if they're in.
If O is in, then it's got to be with W. If O is out, then we don't care, right? So in this one, O is never going to be out, so O has to be in. Everything has to be in fact. So we have O, P, and I'm just arbitrarily assigning to the first one. In this one, we could do O out or O in, but if O is in, we know where it goes, right? It's got to go here because these are both 1. So I would just go ahead and say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, W. So basically what we did here is we split these 2 worlds on the basis of W, and now we're splitting these 2 worlds on the basis of O. Either O is in or it's out. So if it's in, let's go ahead and put it here. If it's out, then it goes there. All right? Who's, this world is the most complete, so let's talk about that one. Who's left?
Wait, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Wait, so if O is out, then P is not out with it?
No. No, this is saying if O is used in a rug, then P is in that rug, but the out group is not a rug, it's just out. Yep. Okay, let's talk about this world. Who's left?
FTY.
FTY. we don't care about these rules right here because all these are single slots, right? So we can just say F, T, Y, and have arcs. They're just floating around, okay? Here we have F, T, Y. Do we know anything about them? FTYP, sorry. FTYP. Okay, FTYP. Do we know anything about them? Some of them can't be together, right? Okay, so I would honestly just list them out. FTYP. T and P seem the most constrained. Could you put like T in here?
No.
Yeah.
With Y. With Y.
You could do T, can't be with F and P, but it could be with Y. Same with P, right? If you put P here, what could happen?
T.
You could have P with F. So I was thinking, oh, maybe there's someone that has to go over here, but not necessarily. All right, up here, who do we have left? We have the same things left, but notice O and P, right? What do we know about this group right here? Do we know anything about it?
It can't be with Y.
Can't be with Y because P and Y
Or
and T. So T doesn't go here, Y doesn't go here, right? And if they don't go there, then that means they have to come up here. So we know that T and Y are in one of these groups right here. We don't necessarily know. Maybe they're together. Could TY go together? Yeah, they could. Okay, so then the only thing left is F. And although F can't go with T, F might go here, right? Or up here as long as it's not with T. Yes?
You can just put T and Y.
Hmm?
And why don't you just put T and Y?
Why would I put them right there? Yeah, good question. Why not put them in there? I think T and Y could go together, right? T can't go with F, T can't go with P, but Y and P could go together, so maybe you put TY here and then F. Right, you could have a double, like 2, 2, 1. David?
I don't know if this question is really the answer, but like when it comes to worlds, I'm still having so much trouble because I didn't make worlds and I got through the game and did okay, but like once you make the worlds, it's just like it just comes so much naturally once the game comes so much naturally once you make them. But I still don't know the best way to get to make the world.
Okay, so here's the clue for this one. Remember the first question is are there floaters? There weren't any. Then who are the repeaters or who are the most constrained variables? In this game I felt like W was really constrained because either it's going to be with 3 or it's going to be out. That's it. And it seemed like it would be helpful to do that because then you know exactly how many are in each group. Like that's like the perennial question in grouping games is what's my minimum, what's my maximum?
Yeah.
Like this is going to be the hardest world to deal with. In fact, now that we're talking about it, I didn't split it up, but I might even split it up on the actual exam. Because if you made this group have 3, then you could figure out what it's going to look like. And if you made one of these have 2, then you could just have the variables.
So you can make an additional world.
Yeah, just split this.
You can make 2 additional worlds technically. You make F and T. No, you can't.
Well, I'd probably just make it on the basis of 3 or 2.
Got it.
But then all the numbers would be all done.
Yeah.
Right? Like we'd have 3, 3, 3, 1, 1, 3, 1, 1, and then we'd have 3, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. And there'd be no uncertainty about, how many, because I think that's the part about grouping games that kind of slows things down. Because you're like, wait, can I put that in there or not? But if that's all set, then it's pretty fast to figure out where things go. So I probably would actually go a little bit further. But the point is that W is very constrained, and we could resolve that min-max issue, or at least mostly. And then once we did that, O is very constrained because P can never go out, right? If P goes out, then O has to go out, and that's not possible because we only have 1 in the out group. So I'd focus on OP, partly because then if O is in, we knew it had to go there. Like it seemed like we could make inferences on the basis of whether O was in or out. So the question is always, how many options do I have, and how full would they get, or seem like they would it be helpful? That's really, you know, and it seemed like it'd be helpful to know that W is in or out, because then I wouldn't have to worry about the number of slots anymore.
Were these games also generally harder?
Well, the consensus seems to be the first ones were easier, and the last two were harder.
Like out of 5, like do you remember the difficulties for each of them?
I think game 4 was a 5, and game 3 was like a 4.
And the first 2 were like 3 or less.
Yeah, the first 2 were definitely 0. You just have to answer the questions. That's all.
Yeah.
You could just do it in your head. Yeah.
Not listen.
You don't even need to diagram those first 2. Yeah. You can just be like, oh, A, B, C, D. They even did it in order. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know. The first games were probably like 2 or 3. Yeah. Okay. Any questions on this game that we want to do together? Is that a question? Okay. All right. No more questions?